How are y'all doing today? So, what you heard was me just sort of practicing some stuff, specifically more things from the Shostakovich Cello Concerto #1. The second to the last page is just nastiness. Well, we all are working on crazy stuff. That was the big music that you saw that was going down and really thick was this. And they all change. How was your day? What's new and exciting in Cello Land? Can you all hear me? Are you getting sound? Oh.
I have an audition coming up, but I had a question. So
Oh yeah.
if you were doing
go for it. Go for it.
If you were doing high E and then F and G, would you have to do 1 3 1?
What?
Oh yeah, this is a good question. You're talking about E here? Yep. Okay, it depends. It depends on where you're going afterward and where you're coming from. For instance, in when we're working in the B flat major scale, like from yesterday, it asks you to go up into third position for a D and an E flat and a fourth finger F. Are you what scale are you working on for this audition?
This one, it's just it's just the D scale, but it's just a key it's in. It's a song, not the scale.
Oh, it's a song. Yeah. Well, songs, pieces that you're working on will often have very different fingerings, specific fingerings just for the music as well. Let's see. Do you have a copy of the music? Do you want to put it up on the screen?
I can go get it.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then when you come back, we'll bring it back to that. That's a really good question because sometimes music, like we work on scales that are sort of standard, but then what happens is you come across a piece of music that has a different kind of scale or some kind of different thing that you also got to work out, and that will require a different scale set of fingerings. So it's a really good question. Are there any other fun questions that you may have while she's going to get her stuff? All right. So, what piece is that? And maybe I'll recognize it from the.
It's Night Shift.
Oh yeah. Can you hold it up to the screen?
Yeah, that's the specific measure.
Is that the one by your finger?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. Now, is there a first finger on that E?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. So it's gonna go. This is the tail end of that phrase, and if everybody can see, if you can turn on gallery view, you can see it. And the idea here is that you think, oh, well, why do I need to go up past the F sharp? But as you can see, there's that little G in the next measure. So Richard Meyer is probably, and I have a feeling that he puts in the fingerings himself because he's an excellent composer for strings. Great. The shift is to fourth position on beat 2. How many of you have played Night Shift? Yeah, we got a bunch of people playing Night Shift. This is good. You're in totally good hands. And it's a really good piece. And I think it's on the what do you call it? The competition list too. Like it's on the list of like pieces that orchestra teachers use. Anyway, the idea here is that pretty soon we're going to need this G. And so the reason for going is because that G is going to come up in the next measure. Okay, but it does seem weird to be shifting from a strong beat to a weak beat, doesn't it? Let's all try that. This is a D, fourth finger, going to E, going to F sharp. Mhm. Now you're coming from a fourth finger D because of the music that's in the measure before it. So you've got this part. See how that works? Okay, so you're still in first position from that's the measure before. Then the first note of the second measure is the same D. So I would do a fourth finger on that D. Then I would go up to fourth position. Good. And then because it goes all the way down to the B for the next phrase, I would say first and fourth positions are the excellent way to get there. Okay, you want to try? Let's. Will you show me what you got there? Will you play it from the beginning of that line?
Okay.
If you're watching, if y'all are watching as well in gallery view, you can see it's kind of sort of do a really good shift, first position up to fourth position. Go ahead and try that. And those of you who have night shift and they're at the house or were smart enough to take it home before they close the schools, then you can follow along. Okay, go ahead, Kate. Yeah, that's great. That's great. And then getting that fourth finger in there, I noticed it slowed down a little bit. There might be, if you can raise up your elbow just a little bit on that measure. See if you can do that measure where all the notes are equal eighth notes, da 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 da, and also that your fourth finger is sort of ready to play. So if I were playing down here, it might be hard to reach the fourth finger, but if I play up here with my elbow out, like I'm just sort of making, I'm doing some social distancing by sticking my elbows out a little bit. Try that out right from the E. Great. So those rhythms worked really nicely right there. Congratulations. That's super. Do you have any more questions in that part? Okay. Yeah. Nice work on that. That's really fun. And someday you'll be playing it again, or maybe you'll even come back as a professional cellist and be a coach for a middle school orchestra that's also working on that same piece. That'll be kind of fun. And then you'll be like, oh yeah, I know this. This will be great. Okay, so that's great. So thank you so much for the question. Anybody else got some questions from music that they're working on? I love this stuff.
Actually, I'd like some help on Eine Kleine and measure 62. I can't quite get the slurs right.
Oh yeah, show me that spot. Point to it. And it looks like you got some sunlight that's
Yeah, I've got a window behind me.
No problem. It's actually pretty handy for your video conferencing. All right, so measure 62. Point to that little thing over there. Is everybody on gallery view? You can sort of see what's happening there. All right, so right there. Yes. So yeah. Are they showing a fourth finger on that B flat?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Why don't you move that fourth finger over to the C, and then use a B flat on the use that 2 on the B flat. That's probably why it was confusing. That particular fingering is all on the D string. Okay. So what's happening is here is just like the prior question, we're going from first position up to fourth position, only we're going to use a second finger to get the B flat. Let's do that. Let's try that out. So So put a fourth finger on the C natural and a second finger on the B flat. Oh, I see. You've got a really low D. Okay, so you're a half step low on that one. Let's make sure that your D. Let's get everybody tuned, and then we'll come back to Ayla's question. Ready? So everybody on, let's start on a D. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody's. I'm going to manage. Hold on a second. Participants. Yeah. I'm going to mute everybody's sound so you can hear me, but that other people's sounds don't throw you off. So here's open D. Make sure that you got that pitch in there. Yeah. For holding Ayla, I see what you're doing here. So what I would do is put the cello off to the side. Hold on a second. Hey, before you get too far, put the cello off to the side. Hold it with your knees really tight, and then turn it, put your thumb on this side of the tuning box, right there, and then crank it this way with your other fingers, okay? And then I use my chest as well to hold it at a different spot, and sometimes I do require my whole hand to just sort of like bring it in. And then what I need to do is I need to sort of twist it in like I'm twisting in a screwdriver into some wood, you know, screwing a screw into some wood. You got to kind of provide a little bit of push to get it in there. Is your D match right now? No? Okay. In fact, I'm going to, oh yeah, here we go. So I'm going to unmute just you so we can watch how this is happening. Okay, will you play your D? Okay, now it went a little bit further, so you're gonna have to crank that up. You're actually playing a B, and so it'll need to come up quite a lot. The backwards.
Wrong string. That's a complete.
Is that your D?
Sorry.
Play your D. Ah, okay. So now it sounds like it's matching your G. Now pull it up. But not so far that you break the string. Okay, now it's going further down. Oh, almost. Yeah, keep going. Okay, take a pause for a second here, Ayla. So on this one, you're notice how it's not holding. It's kind of just like slipping out. So that's where you have to think of it, not just as twisting back, but twisting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if you can twist it in as well as back. This is really valuable for everybody because we'll all encounter this. Okay, now twist it in and back. And what you do is you hold it with your knees and you hold it with your chest. And then I come over here and I go. Now try it. Looks like somebody in your house might need to help you with that.
I just don't think it's quite in there, so I need to.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we've all experienced this where you kind of have to like get around and go, oh. But when you do this, Ayla, so as not to break a string, because the violin shops are all closed because of the quarantine, make sure that you are plucking the note and singing that note to yourself. Oh, it sounds kind of close. Okay. Now, do you have any room on your fine tuner? When you looked at your fine tuner, do you have any room on your fine tuner?
I don't actually have one.
Oh, you don't have a fine tuner on there?
No.
Oh, that is going to be tricky. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you have to do then at this point is loosen it just a little bit and then crank it back to where you think it was and see if you can get that same D. So what I go is I go.
No, it can.
this is super valuable. This is super valuable information for all of you. I'm sure you've all had a note drop, especially as the weather has turned really dry. The tuning pegs will change shape within the tuning box. Basically, what happens is the tuning box is a softer wood, and the tuning pegs are a harder wood. So the tuning pegs don't really stay. I mean, they don't change in shape, but the tuning box does change in shape. It's made out of maple, and so what happens is as it gets drier, it shrinks slightly, and the holes get slightly bigger. And then as it gets wet, like when it starts raining, they'll actually get a little tighter and a little bit easier to use. But they'll slip a little bit when it gets dry because the tuning box is drying up and getting smaller. Hey, that's a pretty good D. All right, I'll live with that D. Now, let's bring everybody in. Those of you who have an Eine Kleinenoch music from that measures, you know, some of you maybe have played it in class. And then I go E, F sharp, G, and then first finger A and C, B flat. Yeah, and then we go up on the D string. Oh, up, oh. Yep. Good. All right, so I'm going to mute everybody back in, and let's get everybody tuned up. So here is mute, and then I'll unmute you in a second. Let's get everybody's A's. Great, and now let's go to D's. And now let's go to G's. Nice, and C's. I love that. I love that sound. Okay, good. All right, so I'm gonna unmute everybody. Everybody's back in who wanted to be on and everything like that. Great. So let's take a look over at the. Before we get too far, we had one question about going up to fourth position on the A string, like that, and then we had going up to the fourth position on the D string. Only this time with a D flat. Kind of fun. Any other questions about music you may be working on or remembering or anything like that? All right. So I'm going to start now with the arpeggio in B flat major. And this is our last day of doing B flat major. We'll do a different scale next week. By the way, those of you who weren't on yesterday, I'm switching to 9 a.m. Going forward, starting on Monday. Okay, so that's the fun. All right, so you have to get up a little bit early if you want to catch cello class. Here is okay. I'm gonna share computer sound. All right, so Ayla, since you are hold on a second. Ayla, since you're still working on the tuning thing, I'm going to mute you, just you, so that you can work on it and still hear what's going on. All right, and let me make sure that you are, yeah, you're muted. Okay, so she's still working on that, and now I'm going to share the screen, and here we go. All right, here it is. We're on second finger on the G string. I'm gonna bring over my little screen, and whoops. Ha ha ha. Let's get this one. I got to figure out. Oh, stay silent for just a little bit. I'm going to bring mine up. There's this. There's this. I need to pin. Oh yeah, I need to pin this. Pin video. There we go. All right. Here we are. Now you can see me and see the music. By the way, notice the new glasses? These are old glasses. I felt like being a very old person today. So we got glasses without rims. Here we go. Ready? B flat and open D. Figure out. B flat 1. Good. D1. F4. Good. Thumb, B flat. Now that's way up. Yeah, there we go. First finger, B. Second finger, F. Third finger, B flat. Now notice how far that is. If I were to show that video, notice how far you have to reach. Good. Here we go. Ready? B flat. And from the top. And coming down. D1. Excellent. B flat. F4. D1. And B flat. Good. Let's do that again. Ready? And B flat. G. B flat. I'm sorry, B flat. F4. B flat. D. F. B flat. Then F. E. B flat. F. B flat. F. And B flat. Great. All right. So I'm going to come out of the screen share for just a second. Now, how many of you are wondering how to get up there? Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? And what you have to do is it's a note that doesn't even work as one of the open strings. But we're coming from this F. This is in third position. Okay. Yep. And you can actually just slide all the way up if you wanted to with a fourth finger. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and we're just using our ears to get us there. We're just saying like, oh, I'm just gonna listen for it. And the distance, you can actually sing this. If you sing, "Here Comes the Bride," it is a perfect fourth. Dun 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 dun. 1, 2, 3. 4. Yeah, that's a great B flat. So that's a 4 to 4 shift. Now let's go fourth finger to third finger. Now go to the third finger. Yeah, good. Excellent. Now let's try fourth finger to second finger. Ready? And. Yeah, good job, everybody. That to me is probably the easiest one. For why? let's go fourth finger to first finger. Ready? And. All right, now for the coup de grace. Here is the fourth finger to thumb. All right, ready? And. Everybody. Now, the really fun part about you're a really awesome cellist if you have, let me see if this will focus. You'll have a big old callus on your thumb if you keep working up here on this higher part of the music. So yeah, it hurts a little bit. I would say only practice until it hurts, because the skin will get irritated. But then it'll build up a little bit of strength, a little bit of build up in your skin, and it'll be stronger, and you won't feel it as much. But I only practice until it hurts, and then I stop and I practice something else. Okay. So good. We have just a few minutes. I would like to do the scale, and then show you a few more little tricks in the Bravall for your work over the afternoon. So let me just call up that little page, bonk, and make it smaller. Okay, there we go. Oh, a little bit smaller there. Oh, yeah, no. There we go. And where's my B flat major? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Screen sharing, everybody. And let's see, I'm going to mute you all as well so we can all play together. All right, so here is the screen share. Yep, screen share. There we go. And I'm going to make this thing a little bit bigger. And here is the B flat major right up in here. Okay, you ready, everybody? We're going to start right there, that B flat. And B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, that's the second finger, F4, G, A, 2, B flat, 1, C1, or B flat, 3, C1, D2, E flat 1, F2, G1, A2, B flat 3. Coming down, A2, G1, F2, B flat 1, D2, C1, B flat 3, A2, G1, F4, B flat 2, D1, C. Oh, I missed a finger. Yeah, that was right. And then B flat 1, A, open, G4, F2, B flat 1, D, C, and B flat. All right, cool, everybody. I'm going to bring everybody back. All right, good job on that. If you played along, everything like that, I'm going to unmute everybody, and then let's talk about the this awesome killer ball. Here we go. All right, so here's the next part. You're down here on the about the 6th line down. Yeah, literally the 6th line down. I'm going to screen share this one more time on here, and I'm going to show you a technique. There we go with this. All right. So So we've got these little bits. After we've done all these triplets, you know, and we worked on those triplets and things, then I have this section right here. And what's happening here is that this is a tenth. If you were to count up all the steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Remember, there are no zeros in music math. And so everything is going to outline a chord. G and B are part of a D chord or a G chord. B and D are part of a B chord, and then or a D over inversion chord. Then we've got a 2 chord, and then we've got a 5 chord. These are going to be both the same. And if you're looking at the video, I'm going to go this open G. And I'm going to go B. Third finger B. Go B. And first finger A. C. And then D. Sharp. Now, I think the hardest one is the last two, which is A. Now here's the little trick. I lay my fingers. Hold on for just a second. I lay my fingers over in a set so that I'm crossing a string and both fingers sort of come down together. So I go, 1. Then when I put my third finger down, I also put my fourth finger down together so that it's ready. Then when I put my first finger down, I also put my second finger down over here. And then when I put my first finger down, I also put my third finger down at the same time. So if you're looking at this video, it's going to go bum, 3, 4, 2, 1, 3, 1. So 1 open, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1. Okay? And you can actually pluck them as well. You can go 1, 0, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1. Okay, so think of it that way. Yeah, and so don't think of them as separate notes that have to respond to each other because they're too far apart. Think instead like maybe a guitar where you're thinking of a shape in your hand and you're training your body to have a shape. Okay, that's how it's going to look. Go. Yep. 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3. Open 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is totally great. Hey, nice work. So I'm going